And we can go in the shade. I don't want to have everyone squinting. Let's see how that's going to look here. Yeah, that's good.
So, am I supposed to just talk, or are you gonna say stuff to me?
No, we'll start it.
Okay.
It's a conversation.
Okay.
I mean, she and I will talk to you. You talk. It's just you know, it's very.
Hey there everyone, we are live at Aware in Atlanta. Well, no, actually we're in Lilburn, Georgia, but we're joined here to show you some cool critters.
Oh, he's gonna go!
And if you have any questions, please chime in and ask us on the Crazimals page.
So who's this?
This is Wendy Suhu. She's our ambassador barn owl here. She came to us because she was injured by someone who thought she could eat their cat. She's too small for that, you know, maybe a very small kitten or something, but that's not usually their typical prey. They usually go after rats and mice and things like that. And the person who injured her actually broke her little wing.
Oh, no.
And so she, you know, has a permanent injury where she can't fly anymore.
Yeah.
So she lives here with us, and she actually has a boyfriend named Boogie. And he's named that because he loves to boogie.
Is
That's
this-
his thing.
So she's getting a shower for tonight's date? Is that
She
what's going
sure
on? Or
is.
what's with the water?
She likes to look good. Yeah, it makes her happy. Sometimes she gets nervous when we first come out, and then she kind of calms down, especially when you spray her. She likes it. They both do little happy dances like this when you spray them a lot of the time. Is that right?
And what's your name and what do you do here?
My name is Mary-John Gadradon. I'm the Director of Animal Care here at the Aware Wildlife Center. And so I'm in charge of like all day-to-day operations and things like that, taking care of the animals and helping get them back out into the wild. Our primary goal is to rehab and release back into the wild. But we have animals like Wendy who come out for education and go to schools and programs and teach the public about peaceful coexistence.
Oh, that's so cool.
So we have someone asking once again, why spray the water?
She likes it. She likes it. Yeah, she seems to like it, especially on really hot days.
Yeah.
She goes out there and she starts wiggling back and forth.
Well,
and
what's really important is, can you show us what she does again? How does she,
Yeah.
oh, you were wiggling, so I
Yeah,
figured
I was wiggling.
giving you a
She's
demonstration.
Interested in the birds behind us, and it actually is really good for them to spray them with water. Birds are waterproof, and the way that they're waterproof is they have a little gland on their back, right above their tail, that secretes oils. And when they preen, they rub the oils through their feathers, and that's why all this water's all beaded up like that. And they need to be waterproof, or they can't fly when the weather's bad. They won't do well. They probably won't survive. So, woo! Where are you going? Where are you going? So we spray them with water. It also stimulates them to preen, which keeps them healthy and happy and that sort of thing.
Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna pan over, and by the way, that's Jennifer.
Hi there.
I'm Jim behind the camera. We are live on Crazimals
Now
at
this-
Aware.
This is something I've
And
seen in my yard before.
I've seen these before. What is this? And who are you? And what is this?
Well, I am Julia Sparks. I am a wildlife care supervisor at Aware. And this is Scully. She is a Virginia opossum. Hi, Scully. I think she's a little bit camera shy right now. But she came into us after she was hit by a car. And so she has some neurological damage and she has compromised vision. So she also cannot be released.
Okay.
So volunteers often find her just napping in her enclosure. And she is opossums, sorry. Oh, come here, Scully. Are the only marsupial in North America. And so that means that once they have live young, their young actually live in pouches, in the pouches in the mother, for several months before they actually leave and go out on their own. So I can try to show it to you, show you her pouch, but I'm not sure if she'll want me to do that right now.
The bigger question here is that a good idea?
Yeah, I don't think she's too happy about that right now.
Now, you guys, I have to laugh. Someone wrote, "That's a cute dog."
Oh,
That's not a dog.
Close.
Just to reiterate.
Yeah.
why not?
No, she, might be mistaken for a dog, and a lot of people are afraid of opossums, but they are one of the most non-aggressive mammals in North America, and especially, Scully here.
They're the ones who play dead, right?
Yes, they do often play dead. So it's really important when you find, oh, Scully, it's okay. When you find a possum, you have to actually be really careful because they might just be playing dead on the instead of being very more injured.
So guys, I'm gonna zoom in. Let me back up here.
Camera shot.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna zoom in. I apologize. It's gonna be a little bit shaky, but I don't wanna freak him out. So I'm just gonna do this and just let you take him in.
And we actually have some baby opossums to show you as well.
Wait, those are babies?
Yes.
No way! Oh my
They're
God,
so
that's
good.
awesome!
Bring in the
Look
babies.
at this.
So these are little baby possums.
Whoa.
These guys would stay in Scully's pouch if they were hers. You know,
Wow.
the possums keep babies in their pouch. And they after they get too old for the pouch, they kind of hang out on Mama's back, and she walks around with up to 13 baby possums on her back. And sometimes they fall off, and if they're not longer than $1 bill from nose to butt, then they're too young to be on their own. So that's when you want to call a wildlife rehabilitator and try to get some help for them. So these guys are too young to be on their own. This one here has a little leg problem that we're working on fixing for him. He doesn't have great use. The good thing is we have a non-releasable placement program here where the animals that can't be released are placed into educational facilities all over the country. Even we've placed in Canada now. So we can let these animals, the reality for a lot of places is you have to euthanize them. There's nothing else you can do with them. You run out of resources. But these guys, if he can't be released into the wild, he can go stay somewhere else and provide education for the public.
Someone's asking a question. I've never heard this before, but is it true that they're dangerous to horses?
Not to my knowledge. Possums are pretty non-aggressive animals. They're actually good animals to have around. They kill and eat venomous snakes. They eat ticks and roaches and rats and mice. And they clean up garbage, and dead prey, dead animals on the side of the road, all of that sort of thing. So they're really actually pretty good to have around. If they were dangerous to horses, I would imagine it'd be some type of parasite or something like that. But they have a really good immune system because they have a very low body temperature, so they typically don't get rabies, things like that. So I don't know the exact answers to that, but I would guess it would probably not be too bad.
And someone's asking, how old would you guys guess they are?
These guys, it's hard to tell, especially when they're in rehabilitation. They grow a little bit slower, and possums, they stay in the pouch for a very long time. So they're actually a lot older than they seem, because when they're born, they're very, very underdeveloped. Sometimes they don't even have total back legs and things like that, and they crawl from the birth canal to the pouch. So these guys, they're definitely quite a few weeks old.
Oh, they're so cute.
I'm just gonna let you guys take them in because they're pretty cute.
People say they get along with my cat fine.
Yeah.
It does seem that they would. It's just kind of I've had an experience where a possum came right up on the deck and started eating with the cat.
Yes.
No problems, no aggression.
Yes. We get lots of calls about that. Possums and cats tend to do well together in the wild. Although cats, we believe cats should be kept indoors just for their safety and the safety of the wildlife. We get calls a lot of the time of people with outdoor cats where they find possums snuggling in cold nights with their cats in little cat houses and things like that. So we hear about that actually.
So what happens now when these guys get a little bit bigger? Do you release them back? How does that work? So I mean, like if they're healthy, they could do it. There's no significant issues.
Yeah.
How does that work out?
We try to get, our main goal is to get all animals back out into the wild. This one with the leg injury might be placed in education, but the other one will be released. So we'll find a good habitat for him, and we'll make sure that he's prepared for release. Find food, he knows how to protect himself, he's fearful of humans, things like that, everything that a normal wild possum would feel and experience, and then we'll let him go somewhere good.
Well, I'm also fearful of humans too. So
Yeah, just while we're shooting them. Also, what kind of animals should I stay away from trying to rescue, and maybe call my wildlife center first?
Well, it's good to, any animal that you're not familiar with or you're not experienced with, it is always good to check with the Wildlife Center first because a lot of animals can hurt you. Wildlife's typical response to humans is to try to flee, but if they're injured or hurt, they may not be able to, and they could always attack. So it's good to contact the Wildlife Center, let them know that you found an animal and it's injured and what's the best way to capture them. And, there's different things that you can do. Sometimes when animals are, there's more of a risk with them. You can like use like a broom or something and push them into a box or something without having to touch them. So it's good to call the wildlife center and get some tips before you do anything like that.
How do they feel? Because no, I don't think everybody gets to touch a baby possum.
They're
Right?
actually really soft.
Really?
Yeah, they're really
Is it
soft.
like a gerbil or
like a guinea pig. Like their fur is not as wiry and thick as it kind of looks. It's actually like I kind of just like want to rub them, they're really soft feeling.
Cuties. I think they
Alright.
like their camera time too.
Yeah, they do. That's okay. And next,
Bring out the ducks.
you may have seen these,
All right, our next couple animals are...
especially if you're in Florida. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes. We have a baby duck and a baby goose here. So this one that's a little bit more yellow, that's the baby goose. And so they were both found alone.
Okay, guys. So forgive me. I'm gonna try to. There we go. Oh, you can hear them going.
Yeah, they're very excited. But they were
Excited
both
too.
found alone, and the baby goose is actually a little bit worse off than the duck. So in rehabilitation, we've had to give him more fluids and more care to make sure that he's been able to do okay. And right now, they're just together to help each other grow and help each other be social. But when they get older, we will put them with more animals of the same species. And so they won't actually be released together. But they're just here to help each other out right now.
Buddies to get through the tough times.
Exactly. If we all had a friend in a hospital, it would be nice. Yeah, and so they're very much ready to hop out. They eat several times a day, so they're probably ready for their next meal.
Now, the interesting things about the duck, I live on a small lake, and we saw an injured mallard duck and did some research, and they said that they can heal on their own. And the duck actually did heal on its own. Can you talk a little bit about the healing process?
It definitely depends on the injury. Like ducks and geese, and it also depends on the area. If they have at least in Atlanta, if they have a broken wing and the bone is not protruding from the skin and their wing is not dragging the ground and they're at a pond that's not going to freeze over in the wintertime, then you can leave them, because in Georgia they don't migrate, they can, but they don't have to. So they could stay and the bones will heal and they won't develop infection because it's inside, and it's usually a safe bet, especially because it's unlikely that you can repair the wing in a way that they'll ever fly again.
So you've got a glove on, and you've got another friend
I do.
right over here.
I do.
I'm just so excited. I'm sorry. I'm not rushing everybody through, but listen, guys, this is so cool. And these guys are really doing some great stuff here at Aware.
Now, this is the one we heard from.
Whoa!
Hi,
Whoa!
hello. Dan, what happened?
Listen.
Dan, what happened? I know. So this is Gazer. She's been with us a long time. She has she doesn't like to let me talk. Yeah, she's like, I've got this. So Gazer has a genetic cataract. She hatched with it, and she was actually found as a fledgling. So she was a little white fluffy cotton ball running around in a circle in somebody's yard because she couldn't see well enough to kind of do things. She has some vision. She can see a little bit, but just not well enough to hunt and fly and that sort of thing. So she lives here with us. She also has a boyfriend. Yeah, you might see her on our Facebook. They get it. They like to make out on Facebook a lot, don't you? I know. Don't do that. Yeah. So Gazer and Tappy are our resident lovebirds, and Tappy was actually our first entrant into the non-releasable placement program. And they fell in love while we were training them for the other facility, and so we had to call the other facility and be like, I'm sorry, our owls fell in love.
You know what
we can't
happens.
send them. Yeah, I don't know which one else to do. So so Tappy stayed, and so now we have Gazer and Tappy, right? You like Tappy? Yeah, he's the best.
Someone mentioned the eye again. Maybe he showed up late into the chat. Can you recap?
Yeah, she's got a genetic cataract, so she has bad vision in that eye. She sees a little bit out of this eye, and she can see. She can navigate around her enclosure, and we've designed her enclosure with balconies and all kinds of perches, and she's learned it, and we can even put her in different enclosures, and she figures it all out. So she does pretty well here. She just couldn't survive in the wild. Is that right? You'll survive good in the wild? Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, you're a good owl.
Someone wrote best Facebook Live video ever.
Gazer, you're a star.
Now, why would Gazer eat in the wild?
Well, barn owls like to eat, small rodents, like mice especially, but they'll eat rats. They also are known to eat snakes and crawfish. They love crawfish. They love to hunt by the streams. But yeah, we have another ambassador barn owl named Albert Einstein, and she's been wanting to eat our snake legs for years. But she knows she can't, so it's okay. But yeah,
Did you
if
say
she had...
snake legs?
Yeah,
Like
her name is Legs.
All
Yeah,
right, all right.
she's our senior snake. So she's retired. She no longer does programs because she has arthritis.
Okay.
And so she's just kind of living out the rest of her life here. She's best friends with our turtle, Mary Shelley. She's a box turtle.
Yeah.
And you can see her on Facebook snuggling with our turtle a lot. And that-
Skylar is asking, why do they make that noise?
well, she's
Wait,
hooting.
did you see, she turned her head like, what did he say? What do you want?
I know. So that's their call. You'll hear these guys in your backyards a lot, calling back and forth to each other.
Yep.
And Gazer came in as a very young owl, and so when she was younger, I used to stimulate her by hooting with her, just like any other owl would, like if she bonded. And so she likes to have hooting sessions, and we do it every day so that she feels, like a real owl. And ever since she's gotten Tappy, she's not as in love with me anymore, which is a little sad, but Tappy's pretty cool.
I was going to say you seem very connected.
Yeah, we're
Very
friends.
comfortable.
Yeah, she's not always so nice to me. They're wild, and so some days
Sure.
she's definitely not been happy to see me, necessarily. But we have a special thing, maybe.
I love this question. Someone's asking, what can they do so that these owls will nest in their trees?
Oh, well, you can build, these guys are cavity nesters. You can get owl boxes, and also just do things to make your backyard more wildlife friendly, like planting native plants, keeping water baths and things like that out there for them, and doing things that's going to attract other animals is going to attract your owls, because these guys are your top predators. And so you need your squirrels and your birds and all those things for the ecosystem to be healthy. So anything you can do to make your backyard very native and provide appropriate shelter for these guys, you're likely to bring them in. These guys are very common.
People are really loving the owl.
You want to hoot some more? Oh, don't do the thing. Gazer. Oh, sorry.
Hey, guys.
Come here. You don't supposed to climb on him. What is your problem?
She's very sweet.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes.
People could have seen that. This owl was right on Jim's shoulder. Just perched
It's
up.
all good. It's all
Yeah,
good. She's a sweetheart.
Because she lands, she knows that it's somewhere to land.
Yeah.
Sometimes she just doesn't know that that's not
I get
the
a feeling
place.
she's been staking this out since
Yeah.
we brought her out. Like, I'm going on that guy's shoulder right there.
Yeah, and I'm glad she has the sharp talons. But the good thing is, because we work, I'm sorry, I scared you. Because we work with them every day, they're good about not using them. They don't make good pets, because like I said, some days she's not happy to see me, and she, but she, since we have an ambassador enrichment program here where we work with them 6 days a week and we do everything from training sessions to blowing bubbles to giving them toys to anything we can do to stimulate them, because these animals were once wild and we want to make sure that they're stimulated and happy and have a good life with us. So they tend to not hurt us most of the time, but not all the time, so
People are commenting
She's
about
very gentle.
how much you guys know about these guys, and you really do.
well, we dedicated our lives to them,
Right.
I always say being a rehabber is not really a job, it's a way of life. We all work, me, Julia, and all the other staff here at Aware, we work all the time. We're taking calls when we're off, we're picking up animals when we're off, we're staying late, we're coming in early. Julia's not even supposed to be here, I don't think.
What are you doing, Howard?
What are you doing here?
Okay, so I have a question for our Facebook followers right now. Do you want me to hang out on her for a little bit, or do you want to see some other friends that we have? queued up. You let us know. Should we move the camera? You guys want to keep taking her in? I get it if you do. It's all good.
Someone's asking, does she have any babies?
She doesn't. It's not legal to breed in wildlife because, you know, our goal is to get them back out so they can breed naturally, but they don't want anything to happen where they're breeding them, you know, for the pet trade. So she doesn't. But her and Tappy, they seem to be happy without kids. You know, some of us are, right?
Okay, they want to see other
All right,
animals,
let's do it.
Jim.
All right, guys.
Bring it on.
Camera's panning.
All right, so I am here to show you a couple of turtles that we have.
And then you're going home, right?
Not yet. We have more animals to show
Okay.
them. So in here, we'll actually have to find him.
Ooh, it's a
Let's
scavenger
see.
hunt.
Oh, let's see. There he is. He is the tiniest
My
turtle
gosh.
that I personally have ever seen.
Are you kidding me right now? Look at
He's
that.
so tiny. He is an eastern mud turtle.
Okay.
And so he was brought to us in the winter, and we're gonna have to raise him a little bit and wait for the weather to get nicer before we release him. And caring for him is a very interesting process because we've never had to chop food up, you know, this for that tiny mouth. So, you know, it's interesting to do that, and he's always hiding somewhere. So it's a scavenger hunt every day to find him.
I'm getting a size comparison with your hand.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And my hands are pretty small too, so, you know. And then we have a musk turtle over here. So you can see they do get, you know, they can grow into this. He's also pretty small. And so he's got a similar situation where he was brought to us in the winter, so we're waiting for the weather to be nice, and we're waiting for them to grow up a little bit. And so he's actually been living outside with a bunch of the other turtles that we have that we're rehabilitating, so they can, you know, grow up together before we release them. So if you just look at both of them together, you can see, you know, he was once this small too. Even the bigger turtles, they all start out,
Like the size of
you
a
know,
quarter. Look
exactly.
At
Maybe even smaller
do you
than
have
a
a quarter?
quarter. Yeah,
I
do
don't.
you have
that.
a
Oh,
quarter?
come on. Nobody has change anymore.
I know,
This is great.
but you can see how tiny he is.
All right, so now while you guys are still absorbing all the cuteness here, we have something special inside. Do you want to go see it? We just found out we might be able to take you inside. We good? Should we try it? Do you guys want to
think
see it?
so.
What do you think? Should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Right.
All right. Where are we going?
Okay. All right, we're going inside to
So we
the
weren't really
exam
playing
room.
this, guys. This is kind of. Don't give me the whole "my house is
behind the
messy" thing. I'm not going to go for that.
We have a lot of animals in here, so please forgive it.
You're forgiven. All right, here we go.
All right, so
what do
this
we got?
is our exam room in here.
Uh-oh. Wrong room. oh, for the animals. Gotcha.
Yeah. All right.
So is this kind of the first stop when someone brings an animal in, right here at this exam table?
Yes. Our first stop is we bring them in here, and we usually let them sit for a little while because sometimes, you know, when somebody is rescuing them, that is a really stressful event, and so we want to make sure that they won't get ill because of that stress. So we, you know, let them sit a little bit before we examine them to see what we can do. All right, and here we have a
Oh my
baby
gosh,
fox.
I'm gonna die. This is so cute.
Okay.
You're going to be really quiet.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
So, this fox was found on the side of the road by animal control, and when he came in to us, he had an abscess on the side of his neck that we've been cleaning every day. And so today we're just examining it to see how it's doing, and it looks like it's doing a lot better than it started out, so that's a really good sign. And we have this little guy outside with some other foxes, some other baby foxes right now, so that they can bond with each other, because we don't want them to be too close to humans, because we don't want them to associate humans with food, and then they'll feel comfortable around us, because a lot of people are still afraid of foxes, and that could be dangerous to the fox, and they might not survive. So, so he's very nervous, also camera shy, it looks like. I think he's also not a fan of having this many people around, but it's okay.
Super cute. If you have any questions, chime in.
Yeah, one thing when we have animals like this is we have a rule that's about no bunny hugging, is what we call it, which is where, you snuggle with the animals or you baby talk the animals because, like I said, that's not good for them.
Yeah,
but it's very hard not to when you have animals you have to hold back.
Someone just wrote, I commend all that you guys do here. It's such a great cause. And there's rehab centers all over the country, too. So if someone who's watching this in a different state comes to your page, they might be able to get some help of where to go.
Yes, we actually have people sometimes contact us from other states, and we refer them to different websites that we know of that have rehabbers for all over the country. We even have seen ones that have rehabbers internationally. But even if you can't, find one specifically, usually if you can get close to your state or close to your country, those people know other people that can lead you in the right direction.
They're asking, how old do you think?
He's probably maybe 8 weeks old. I'm so obsessed with their weight and stage of development. I'm always so, he's got, he's probably, 8 weeks old or so. And he's got, like we said, the 4 others, and they're all kind of different ages, so it's really cute. It's like a bunch of little different size foxes outside, and, like she said, our main goal is to keep them bonded to them and not us.
So the plan is for him to be released?
Yes. We'll release him back into the wild with all the other guys, and they'll go on because they're needed in the environment. These guys kill mice and rats, and if you, a lot of the times people don't have rodent problems because the wildlife's taking care of it for them, and so these animals are all really important. Are you getting nervous?
We'll take him back if he's too nervous.
Okay.
It's okay,
You go on. You go with your brothers.
Cool. This is great.
Oh, wow.
Wait, what is this?
A bat?
So this is a Brazilian free-tailed bat. So he's got this little free tail. So if you notice, most bats, they have the webbing right here, but his tail is just like a little thing. So he came here to us. He has an injured right wing. There's actually a fracture in the humerus, which is this bone right here. And we think that we'll be able to repair it, and he'll likely be able to fly again. These guys often do really well. These guys hunt insects, and it's really, really good for the environment and just for your pest control and that sort of thing. They're a little smaller, if you go to different places where they have fruit bats, some of those bats get really, really big. The flying foxes are like 2-3 feet, they're really big. It's amazing. But our bats don't get much bigger than this here in Georgia. And so he's got the big ears. I always think he kind of looks like a little bully breed dog. That's how I know him. As soon as I open the box when someone brings it to me, I see those ears, and I'm like, that's a Brazilian free-tailed bat. And I turn him around, and there's his tail, And so these guys are pretty cool. They have really amazing wings. That's what's so amazing about. So I'll show you his non-hurt
looks like a little
wing.
mouse.
Yeah.
With wings.
It's really loud, too. No, it's a fox.
So that's his little wings.
Oh, look at that.
Someone says they've never seen one like this before.
Yeah, they're really cool. We like them a lot. I know. And so these guys eat mealworms. We breed mealworms here so that we can feed them to our bats.
Smart.
Yeah, it's really cool. And we have some really great volunteers that take care of that program for us. And so he's kind of a little piggy. He eats maybe 60 mealworms a day, which is a little much. We're letting him do it right now while he just came into rehab a few days ago. But we'll have to cut him back in a little while because he'll be too chubby to fly, and then we have to keep his weight down.
Maintain that weight.
Yeah, meet his weight goals.
Then you gotta put him on napkins, and it's a whole mess.
It gets out of control.
Very cute.
Well, thank you so much for inviting us in. This facility is also open to tours, as well?
Yes, we do tours on the weekends at 1 p.m. We're also primarily staffed by volunteers. So without the volunteers, we
Yeah,
could not
including
do
this
it.
one right here.
She's staffed actually, but she's volunteering currently, I guess.
Yes.
The staff is kind of volunteers, a lot of us.
I started as a volunteer.
Yeah, yes.
I think everybody appreciates you, so
We
thank
do.
you.
So we always accept volunteers. We do the tours on the weekends at 1 p.m. Museum. And their guided tours are really fun. You get to see all the educational animals up close and hear their stories and why they're here and why they're important to the world and why we should care. So yeah, definitely check us out. And if you like us on Facebook, we do all kinds of fun events, and often they're free, and you can come out and do fun things with us, and hang out and drink some wine or look at some art with some owls. It's fun.
I dig that.
Good combination.
All right, guys. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.